And I am raw to the bone. I know, I'm still in thermal mode. I'm still dripping sweat from my workout, but that's all right. Come on in, a little sweat never hurt nobody. Let's get y'all started on the positive vibes because you know what I say. It's going to be a what?
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun.
Hey,
Step two, get some good, some food in you.
come on.
Step three, be real hard about what you wanna be.
What?
Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Hey,
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yeah. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, yo. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, yo. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison they ride.
come on.
Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself the foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
We're gonna have a good day. We're in July, month of understanding. What?
Girl, how about what you wanna be?
Step on.
Everybody just do your thing.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Happy freaking hump day. I'm all confused because I think this is the very first time, and it might not be, but my memory says this is the first time that July 4th landed on such a weird day. Like, well, I don't ever remember getting a day in the middle of the week off. It's so weird because I woke up this morning feeling like it was Monday. And I was like, what? It's Wednesday. It's kind of weird, right? And so I'm on the fence with whether I take today off or not. Like, I didn't really think this through because yesterday it fucking rained and today is sunny. And my friends called me and asked me, do you want to go to Coney Island on Wednesday? And I was like, okay, I was so excited about it, right? And then I started to think, okay, I love Coney Island because I don't know about y'all, but I love the clams. My girlfriend was like, y'all know Sai Abdullah that joins here. She was like, well, what restaurant do you go to in Coney Island? I'm like, what? What restaurant? She's like, what spot? I'm like, the motherfucking spot on the boardwalk, the motherfucking spot next to the Nathan's Frank on the outside, the motherfucking spot where you standing up, eating your shit with the beach right there. Ain't no restaurant spot. It's the outdoor shits that's in Coney Island. Yeah, and Zen, them fucking hot dogs. And so my heart started pounding extra fast, right? Because I love the clams and I love the Nathan Franks. Something about them Nathan Franks from Coney Island is the bomb. I know. I buy them in pack from the store. They don't fucking taste the same. Something about getting that Frank from that boardwalk is everything. All right. Good morning, family ties. Good morning, long time. Right. And so I'm all excited about that. So I'm waking bitches up this morning, even though I didn't take the day off yet, but it's not too late. I could still take the day off. I earn days off. All right. And so I'm texting bitches this morning. I'm like, get the fuck up. Are we doing Coney Island or what? Now, good morning, Pat. Now, the only thing about Coney Island that hesitates me is it's the last fucking stop on the D train. That means I have to get to the city, right? I have to take my bus into the city to 42nd Street, then get on the D train. And the D train ain't at Port Authority, is it? Oh, is it? Yes, it is. Is the D train yellow? I don't the fuck know. Okay. But it's the last fucking stop on the D train. So, even though I'm excited about Coney Island, I be hesitant. And I know motherfuckers be like, just jump in your car and drive. Just like it's the last exit on the D train. It's like all the way at the fucking end. All the way at the fucking end of of no. I don't want to drive because, I want to drink, I want to relax, I want to have a good time, and I don't want to have to worry about driving. I mean, that's my new shit. Like, I don't want to worry about driving. I will jump on the bus and the train first. So Coney Island is on the fence right now. I really do want to go though. The fuck, all I need is my friends to be anxious enough to say, okay, let's go, Robin, come on. If they give me that boost of energy, I might the fuck go. See, Zen said they don't taste the same at all. I think it's the old water they cook them in. Whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is, them hot dogs. Good morning, Sai Abdullah. I was talking about your ass, you and Stacy, because y'all bitches talk about going to Coney Island. So I'm sitting here talking about the hot dogs and the clams. And I told them that you had the freaking audacity to ask me, what spot do I get the clams from? Like some bougie shit. Like she looking for a restaurant, like a spot. No, ma'am. Zen and I said, them fucking hot dogs in the old ass dirty water and them clams right there where you stand up on the boardwalk is delicious. All right. So y'all motherfuckers need to tell me if we getting up and we going to Coney Island, speak your piece so I can manipulate my work calendar and I can make it happen. I'm just saying. So with that being said, how did everybody enjoy their day off? I'm not even going to say 4th of July, right? Because I see the shit y'all are on, right? Y'all not really sending out happy 4th of July like y'all normally do. Like Juneteenth is catching fire, right? Juneteenth is catching fire. Okay, so I knew that shit. Juneteenth is catching fire. People are not saying happy July 4th, but I want to say kudos to Boosie, right? Because people often think if they don't know something and they ask it out loud to the public that people are going to laugh at them or people are going to say, oh my God, you're stupid. You didn't know this. But you know what? Thank God to those people who have enough zhuzh to ask questions. So Boosie went on social media and he was like, y'all, I've been celebrating July 4th since I was a child with fireworks and shit like that. Now people are telling me don't celebrate July 4th. Why? He wants to understand why people and black folks are in his inbox telling him not to celebrate July 4th when he grew up celebrating July 4th. He also said he thought July 4th was more along the lines of military around the war, the Civil War, but just warlike. He didn't attach it to the struggles of the black people, right? And so I want to say kudos to that because some people might laugh at that and some people might assume that everybody knows that when the independence shit was signed, that black folks like you and me were still enslaved for an additional 100 years, right? And so This is why people push the narrative of Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is really when the enslaved were free, right? It wasn't on Independence Day 1776 or whatever when they signed this, right? It did stop the war, right? And it opened up, but there were still slaves for an additional 100 years, all right? And so for years, you're right, Boosie, and everybody else out there that don't understand, I grew up celebrating July 4th. I grew up looking for every barbecue. I grew up hanging outside looking for the fireworks. I grew up celebrating the holiday because I wasn't taught. I didn't know, right? And so honestly, when Juneteenth became a thing, that's when I opened up my mind and I learned something new. No shame in my game. So kudos to Boosie, right? Even though Juneteenth has been celebrated for several years now and talked about for several years, Boosie actually got on social media and asked the question, right? And I appreciate that. Don't ever feel, the message here is, don't ever feel stupid for not knowing something, right? Ask the question, you know? Debbie said, I peeped that too, Roy. The 4th is losing traction. I did absolutely nothing yesterday, and it was amazing. Well, I did do something. I ended up over Saya Abdullah's house yesterday. She made fish, macaroni salad, a green salad, and some corn. And I'm still eating it. The macaroni salad was the bomb. The first thing she said to me was, do you eat macaroni salad? I said, bitch, I'm black. And she was like, I know a bunch of black people that don't eat black shit. And I was like, okay, how about this? I was black and poor. The fuck? Macaroni salad was the shit. You get a box of cheap ass macaroni noodles, you boil them fucking shits, and you get some tuna fish, mayonnaise, relish, and whatever the fuck else seasonings and shit you put in yours, right? And mix that shit up and make a big old bowl. I used to just eat that, no meat. And I just want to say, Si, I ate on that macaroni salad last night. You already know I said the fish was good. I ate on that macaroni salad last night. Oh my God, it was delicious. Thank you. I still have more. If you notice, if you look in your container, you will know that I took a lot. Okay? I took a lot. Welcome back, Georgie. We missed you too. You said, I'll be back. Time school starts August 1st. I've been knocked out this summer. I ain't mad. I can't, no matter whether I'm off or it's a holiday, I'm still up 6 o'clock in the morning. I got up this morning. Already got on my bike, got my bike out the way, right? Because I was like, you know what? I feel so much better, y'all, when I ride my bike early in the morning when I first get up. Now, there are days that I struggle to get on my bike and I have to talk myself into it. And I wind up getting on my bike at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Because my mind won't be at peace until I get it out the way. But this morning, I got on that bike, and every morning I've been getting on the bike, right? I'm trying to get back to just busting it out in the morning and stop fighting my I don't want to's, right? Because let me tell you, staying committed to your workout routine, to your fitness, to whatever it is you're doing for your body, it ain't easy, right? I don't care how long you've been doing it, okay? I still have to talk myself into getting on this bike my 6 days. Okay. And when I came back from Florida and I was burnt the fuck up in my eyeballs and stuff, I couldn't ride my bike because I was burnt up and my body was irritated and shit like that. And so when I missed a couple of days, my momentum was gone. And so it took me a minute to get that back. But I had to say to myself, I had to have a real fight with my conscious, because my subconscious was like, nah, fuck that bike today. And I was like, nah, having big arguments. So if you find yourself in situations where you are talking to yourself and trying to convince yourself to stay committed with your workout routine, have that fucking argument, right? Have that fucking argument and get on that bike, that treadmill, that sidewalk, whatever it is anyway. Because at the end of that, you're going to go back to yourself and thank yourself for doing it. That is my morning pep talk for the challenged fit friends, right? And I say that with love because nothing about committing yourself to your fitness journey is easy, okay? With love. That part, okay? All right. Zen said, I made an Italian hoagie hero sub dip for a party. I went time. That shit was fire. Wow. That sound good. That sound good. I'd have drove to Bordentown for that. The fuck? Georgia said, I be up so late, usually up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm up by 8, mad because why? I get up 6 a.m. every day. Every day. That's why I'd rather just ride my bike in the morning because what the fuck am I doing at 6 a.m. just rolling around steering? Right? Rolling around steering. Johnny said, good morning, everyone. Pray for the DMV area. 3 mass shootings within 24-hour period. Damn. You see how the fuck they do? They wait for the fireworks to go the fuck off, and then they start pulling out their fucking guns. Like, what the fuck? You know, I'm going to be honest. This is why I used to love going out to see the fireworks. I used to love that shit, y'all. And I still kind of do. Like, if I had an active bae that did shit like that, then I would still go out and watch the fireworks. But I don't really go out and watch the fireworks by myself. I don't do a lot of stuff by myself. I'm learning, right? Because motherfuckers mix fireworks up with guns. And I'll be like, they be having my nerves bad. And so prayers go out for the DMV area and hoping that no one got hurt. The fuck? Good morning, Ghost. I took yesterday off. I needed a mental break. Georgie said, I keep starting and stopping working out. I be in so much freaking pain from the simplest shit. Well, Georgie, the pain is going to be there until consistency is a thing, right? And so every time you work out and then you stop, right, your body doesn't get a chance to adjust to what you're doing. So of course you're going to be sore, right? I've been sore like beyond, but you still got to work through that shit, stretch it out, work through the shit, give your body a day or two rest, get back in it. The soreness will work itself out, right? Make sure you are replenishing your body. Now that part I'm shitty at. I don't replenish my body from working out. I drink coffee, water, and I eat what the fuck I want. That's it, and that's all. But Georgie, find something that's inspirational for you. For me, I just think I'm in a habit form right now, right? And I'm lying. What keeps me committed is, and this is what I tell everybody that asks me about my fitness routine, right? I don't have a CrossFit thing. I'm not a beast with it. I just simply ride my bike, right? Simply. And I do some calisthenics, abs, stretches, sometimes squats and shit like that. Nothing crazy. But I commit to myself because when I first started working out, I didn't care about weight loss. I didn't care about what my body looked like. I just wanted to do something that was for me, that I committed to, that I was contributing to good health for myself, right? That's what this show is about. Healing on the inside and the outside. So me jumping into my fitness routine and riding the bike 6 days a week was more for my mental state as well as my physical state. Which what lended to my commitment to this is when I looked back, it might have been a year later. I start looking at, how your memories pop up on your screen from Facebook or IG and it'd be like this time last year. I saw what I looked like last year and what I looked like that current year. I was looking at that picture and I said, wow, I changed a little bit. And I said, oh, that's when I continued to be inspired because I didn't focus on the weight loss and all of that when I went in, because I find that when you focus on the weight loss and you focus on body goals and stuff like that, you expect your body and shit to respond quickly and then you get discouraged, right? No, I focused on doing something for myself that said, I am committed to myself the same way I commit to binge watching these fucking shows on Netflix, the same way I commit to getting on a bus and a train to go visit my friends in the city, the same way I commit to jumping on this show at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the same way I commit to showing up at my job. Why the fuck can't I show up for myself? And that's what I said. If I can binge watch a TV show, I could take 30 minutes for myself. And that's what I do. 30 to 45 minutes a day I take to myself. Think of it that way. Okay? That's my little tidbit. That's my little tidbit. All right? Hopefully that works for y'all. You said tell me a little bit more about that dip. The guacamole. I forgot about that. We ate the hell out of that guacamole that Sai made. We ate the hell out of it, that when I took the bowl up off the floor because she fell asleep, right? When I took the bowl up off the floor, I was confused whether she washed it or not. I was like, wait, did she fucking wash the bowl? Did we fucking lick the bowl dry? Like, what the fuck? It was good, y'all. It was good. Thank you for the food and the company side. I appreciate that, all right? And I was lit from the tequila and the pineapple juice. Good company. Thank you. Right? Zen said, hey, Theo. Okay. Deb said, as Zen, it's so much blatant hatred in politics these days, so I completely understand your stance. Oh, what stance did I miss? Let me go up. What does Zen say? Oh, to be honest, I really don't give a crap about the July 4th anymore. I don't feel very independent when people are constantly coming for me and my community. When your government is actively working against you, fuck it. That part. Well, listen, I saw, there's this page on IG that's run by feminists, right? And they were holding up signs that made a lot of fucking sense to me. They were like, independence for fucking who? Y'all worried about our uterus. Y'all worried about our genders. Independence for fucking who? White men and women? Straight white men and women? Like, I'm confused. But we're going to get into July, because July is the month of understanding, and we getting heated. And before we get into, y'all know what today is, question and opinion, aka Assholes Day. And I got a topic for y'all. I got questions. Sai was asking me questions, and I was asking Sai questions yesterday. And we were like, no, we're gonna bring this shit to the show because we really want to know y'all. And for those that are, let me read the positive thought, because understanding. July 5th, okay? July is the month of understanding. Remember, as y'all are coming in, give me the thumbs up. There's 20 people in here. I should have 20 thumbs up. Who's monitoring my thumbs? Okay? I will gain more understanding when I realize exactly where I am is exactly where I need to be. You have a question where you are and why you are where you are? This says, I will gain more understanding when I realize exactly where I am is exactly where I need to be. How many days of the week do you spend wondering why you are not further along than you are? If thinking about it makes you angry or frustrated, you are definitely not on the right track. Exactly where is it that you believe you need to be? Why isn't where you are just fine? You can only be where you are, and it is up to you to make the best of it. You cannot get to where you are going until you have learned all there is to learn about where you are. There are always powerful, insightful, sometimes shocking things we need to know about ourselves. Those lessons are not over there. The things you need to know about you are right where you are. While you may think you know it all, there is some reliable information about your beliefs, your doubts, your stamina, and your behavior patterns right where you are sitting. Right under your nose, there is something you have forgotten, neglected, resisted, or denied. At your right side or your left side, there is a blessing that has not been acknowledged, a hurt that has not been forgiven, a skill that remains underdeveloped, or a good you have yet to do. Everything and everyone that is available in the place you are in right now has something to teach you or something to give you. The reason you may have missed the lessons to be learned or refused the gifts being offered right where you are is you are preoccupied with where you want to be. How many of y'all focus on where you want to be and forget to deal with where you are? Until today, you have missed the lesson, ignored the blessing, or denied the truth about where you are in life. Just for today, devote yourself to answering the following questions. What do I believe about where I am? What do I think about where I am? What do I feel about where I am? What do I tell myself about where I am? In your answers, you will find your ticket to the place you need to be. Today, I am devoted to learning all I need to learn about where I am. Wow. How many of you focus on your future goals? You know, you create these charts, right? That keep your mind focused on where you want to be, your vision boards and everything. Like, this is where I want to be. This is where I'm aspiring to be, the things I'm aspiring to do, right? And you put in the work of focusing so much on where you want to be that we lose sight of where we are, right? What Ayana Vanzant is saying is that sometimes when we're focusing on the future so hard that we forget to acknowledge where we are, we miss the lessons that come our way in our present selves, right? We miss the mark on the things that we should be doing in the positions we are in now because we are focusing on how we're going to get where in the next 5 years, right? And not taking in the lessons of now. And then a lot of people who never achieved their goals that they set forth before them, they ask themselves why. Maybe this is the answer. Why are some of us not reaching our goals? Are we missing the lessons in the now? Are we missing opportunities that we should be grabbing a hold of? You ever sit down and say to yourself, why am I in this situation? Why am I not married? Why do I not have kids? Why did I not do this? Why am I? Because maybe there's a lesson in your now. I've asked myself a million times, why me? When am I going to get where I'm trying to get? How come I'm not there yet? But I need to pay attention to the lessons in my current life. July is the month of understanding. Take a step back. Do your vision boards. Focus on where you want to be. But tread lightly and tread slow and indulge in the now. That's the reading for today. That's the positive thought for today. I thought the shit was good. It's a reminder for me to stop moving so fast. Stop. I know people that work so fucking hard, right? That they don't enjoy life on a daily basis because they say, oh, I gotta work. I gotta pay the bills. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And life is just passing them by. What's gonna happen when they retire at 65? then what? What about all that shit you missed in the now? Because you were worried about the future, where you wanted to be, where you think you needed to be financially. How many motherfuckers that have retired from their jobs, okay, and died a few years later, never enjoying the money that they saved, all the years of hard work, never got to do the things that they said they wanted to do when they retired. Live in the now, y'all. Don't forget to live in the now as you are planning and foreseeing your future. There's a lesson in this. And that's the positive thought. Fuck. Deb said, on to our, because today is Question and Opinions Day, aka Assholes Day, and I got a topic for y'all motherfuckers. I got some shit for y'all because Sai and I went over to Sai Abdullah's house yesterday, and we were having a movie, well, we were trying to have a horror movie day. And we watched Smile. We pretty much saw all the horror movies that's out. And so we watched Smile. Let me throw up the guest link for those that want to come on. All right. We watched Smile and we started talking about shit. And the one thing that Sai said to me is, you know what scares me the most? I don't fuck with. She said spirits and shit and possessions and shit. And I said, you know what? I love possessions and shit, but them shits are scary. She said she can deal with a Freddy Krueger, a Michael Myers, a Jason, somebody like that, because she'd be round for round, fucking them up, boxing, kicking them because she could touch them. They're a piece of substance, so she can fight that. But she said these demons and spirits and shit, that's a whole different shit. So she asked me, do you believe in these things? And I said, yeah. Right? Now, I've never experienced anybody being possessed by a demon or whatever the case may be, right? But I simply asked her the question of, how can I say I don't believe in demons being able to possess people, right? But yet we go into a church and people be jumping up and down. Good morning, Lola. And people be jumping up and down saying they got the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, right? And people flock to them, fan them, make sure they don't hurt themselves. They be passing out on the floor and doing all kinds of theatrics, right? Now, I'm not trying to offend nobody, right? But how can a population of people believe that somebody can catch the Holy Spirit, right? But not the devil, right? So I said to Sai, I caught the Holy Spirit, and I said to you, I feel the Holy Spirit. Right? Would you believe me? Right? And I believe she said yes, right? And then I said, but what if I said I caught the devil? She just looked at me. So I'm like, why the fuck people don't believe that? And so Sai said, well, I'm going to attribute it to a feeling I had when I was in church and a pastor was speaking, right? And his words moved me to a point where I felt something on the inside. It was different. It was different. And I said, well, was it like music? Like when you hear a song you really like, was it like that? And she said, no, it was different. So I said, okay. So when people catch the Holy Spirit, we believe that. But why y'all don't believe it when people catch the devil? Why is that questionable? Happy hump day, I am Jacinta. Good morning. Good for you, Deb. Good for fucking you. Johnny Leon Hill, you have a busy July coming up. July is your birthday and anniversary month. Yes, sir. Ghost, your oldest son's birthday is in 2 days and yours is on the 19th. Oh, shit. This is turn up season. I love it. I love it. Wait, Sai said you ate the hell out of it. You sure I just ate the hell out of it? Because I could have sworn I saw your finger scraping around the bowl. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Good morning, Rochelle. Hillbilly, you hate fireworks? I don't hate them, but I don't break my neck to go out and see them no more. I could see them from my window. Sai sent me a picture of her husband. I sent a picture of mine. I was laying right on my couch. Deb said, at Johnny, I saw that. It's sad that we're becoming desensitized to these mass shootings. I know. Georgie said, at Deb, it's either become desensitized or live in constant fear, which is horrible for the brain. This is why I do not watch the news. I don't either. I stay on streaming services. You can't, that part, Johnny, you cannot enjoy fireworks because you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, literally, I remember one year I was in Brooklyn in my girlfriend's backyard, and it was July 4th, and they were cooking out like motherfuckers do. And, you know, the fireworks was going off, and then we heard pop, 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 pop. And I turned around like, wait, those don't sound like fireworks. My girlfriend said, no, those are guns. They take turns around here. I was like, what the fuck? Like, we in the backyard cooking out and motherfuckers are shooting guns. Like, I feel like, so you know what? But listen, motherfuckers could be right in their house and get shot, Breonna Taylor. I'm just the fuck saying. These are scary fucking times. Scary fucking times. Yes, Cheryl, do not take so much time living in the future that you forget to enjoy the past. You are so right with that. Lola said, I agree with Sai. You don't fuck with spirits and possessions. You know, there's a reality show on, well, I say it's a reality show, but it's a docu series on Netflix, and it's called How Evil Got to Me or something like that. And it's real accounts of people being possessed. And I watched about 3 or 4 episodes, and it fucked me up because they actually show the real video, right, of people catching these demonic spirits and the pastors and, well, the priests doing an exorcism, right? And they interviewed these Catholic priests, and they say they are dispatched on a regular basis to deal with stuff like this. This stuff really does happen. You know, it's weird because a lot of this, the show, I think, was filmed in Mexico. And I was like, you know, a lot of times these shits be happening in these countries like Spanish countries and shit. I don't know. But, you know, do y'all believe this shit? Because it has always baffled me that even people that go to church, you be like, y'all believe in the Holy Spirit, but y'all don't believe in when people get possessed. As soon as somebody say, I got possessed, or I feel, you know, y'all sending them to the 6th floor. So I have another question. I am just sent to say, when you say you catch the devil, do you mean demonic spirit? Yeah, that part. That part. You know, the you know, the spirit. You know. Okay, so Cheryl Lee said energy never ceases to exist, but needs a body to embody on this physical realm. So yes, I believe you can open yourself up to different spirits, good and evil. So why is it that people don't believe? They only believe that when good enters you. How about when evil enters you? How come people don't believe? Like, I have a question. And oh my God, if one of y'all get a fucking offended on here, I'ma scratch my ass. Like, I'm pulling my whole pants down and just scratch my fucking bare ass on this show. Because I'm just trying to stand. Speaking in tongues. Anybody on here speak in tongues? Anybody on here speak in tongues? I need to know that answer first. Anybody on here speaking tongues? Because Sai and I was trying to figure this shit out yesterday. And I said, fuck it. Sai said, bring it to the show. So anybody on here speak tongues or have knowledge about tongues? I'm asking, because I have questions, right? You know, Deb said, I believe in catching the devil, demonic spirits. That's real, just like I believe soul ties are real. So why are so many people in the psychiatric ward? How many of y'all motherfuckers, you know, have been around people, y'all just say they fucking crazy? Do y'all ever think, oh, maybe this motherfucker's possessed? Do we ever think that? What would it take for you to believe someone is actually filled with an evil spirit? What would it take? You know, we walk around and we call people evil. We call people mean. We call them crazy. We say that they schizophrenic. We say they have multiple personalities. We call these people pathological liars. All kind of shit, right? But what would it take for you to believe that somebody is really carrying some shit like this? Anybody speak in tongues? I'm still waiting for that. Lola Bunny said, I don't watch anything zombie, spirit filled or anything. You don't know what you are inviting into your space. Remember Poltergeist, baby? And you know what's crazy, Lola? I watch all them shits and be scared. I be looking at around my house like, what the fuck? I love to be fucking scared. But you're right. You don't know what you're inviting into your presence. Johnny said, I believe whatever you invite into you, you will receive it if that's what you mean in catching the devil. I do believe in possession. Okay, Johnny. But what would it take for you to believe that someone is actually with an evil spirit? Because I agree with that too. Y'all said a woman told me she was going to put roots on me. My mama said, we don't believe in that, so you're good. So you think that you have to believe in it in order for it to affect you? Anybody speak tongues? I'm still on that shit. Hillbilly said, demonic spirit, yes. Holy Ghost, no. God took away his influence when Jesus died. We are on our own until judgment day. So Hillbilly, you don't believe people catch the Holy Spirit. So you believe that when they're jumping around the church saying they caught the Holy Spirit and they're speaking in tongues, what do you think that is? Deb said, I know people that do speak in tongues. I myself haven't been able to, though. All right, so I have a question about the tongues. Why it all sound the same? I'm like Boosie this morning. Don't jump the fuck on me. I just want to know. It's like every time I hear someone speak in tongues, right? They're saying the same phrase, kind of, right? And I'm like, okay, if you caught the Holy Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit is saying the same thing to you that is saying to her, that is saying to him, that is saying to that person over there, and your response is exactly the same as her, him, and him, and him. Why do the tongues sound exactly the same, like something I can rehearse and something I can say myself? Like, I always thought tongues was, if you caught the Holy Spirit, like you spoke in this jumbled language, but I thought it was based on how the Holy Spirit touched you. Your jumbled language would be based on that, right? But when I listen to, and you could go on YouTube and Google or Google, right, tongues and look at videos, why are they all saying the same thing? Somebody explain that to me. Like, this is what puts me on the fence with speaking in tongues, because I'm like, did you rehearse that? And I be seeing 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds in the church doing the tongues. And I'm like, okay, so the Holy Spirit talking to this little kid, and the little kid is saying the same thing as his mama. So the Holy Spirit is saying the same thing to this little kid as it's saying to the mama. I'm asking. Brandy said, I think some people use religion as a way to uplift themselves and for motivation. Believing in the negative or evil side of religion is counter to that purpose. But when we read the Bible, Brandy, right, aren't we reading and learning about both? Revelations is a whole book that talks about the end, right? And the wars between the seven-headed beast and our Father coming back, right? The last book talks about nothing but the wars between evil and good. So when we read the Bible, how can we read portion of the Bible and focus on the good and skim over the evil? And then when somebody says, I feel like I got an evil spirit in me, and they go to their pastor. The pastor's in the shit beside eyeing them, and they got to go through all this proof to prove that they got an evil spirit in them. But nobody ever has to prove that they feel the Holy Spirit. What the fuck? Family Ties said, I've seen people do it in person, but I personally know nothing about it to know who's for real versus who's acting, leaving that between them and God. Fake is charlatan money makers. Oh, I felt like that was a rap song, Hillbilly. I felt like you were going to bust a beat after that. Johnny said crazy is a real thing, but crazy can be separate from evil, and demonic possession doesn't have to look like the movies. It can look normal until it doesn't. That part. True Ghost. Right, I am dissenter. Speaking in tongues is someone communicating with the higher ups. That's what I was told. But are they all communicating the same thing? I don't speak in tongues, and I don't know nothing about tongues, and I'm gonna have to Google it some more. But is God communicating the same thing to each and every person? Because see, I've always been taught our relationship with God is our relationship individually. So I'm not thinking you're getting the same message from God that I'm getting. I'm asking though. Okay, so Deb said, that's a good question. A lot of it does sound the same, but personally have heard it sound different too. That was my question aside. Has she ever heard it sound different? And we were like, I don't know. I think it always sounds the same to me, right? But Deb is saying you have heard it sound different, and I have heard people translate what's being said. Hillbilly said, how many changed the Bible? The Sabbath is Saturday. Worshipping on Sunday is not what God said to do. Most Christians are fake or being led to astray. Well, Hillbilly, yes, when I was worshiping and shit, I know worshiping and shit don't belong in the same sentence, but I celebrated on the Sabbath because I was 7-day Adventist. And yes, we aligned with the Hasidic Jews. No, nothing on a Saturday. Friday night started the Sabbath into Saturday sunset. We focused on God, godly things, etc., etc. That was the day of rest, right? We focused on family, worshiping. That was it. But people will argue. But this is when I say, Hillbilly, people read the Bible and the Quran and the Hadiths and all these books, right? And interpret it to mean what it is they want it to mean. Now, how we ended up with Sunday? Catholicism, right? Catholicism is how Sunday came into play, right? But y'all could do your history on that. Ghost said, I think they just excited about the word. I don't believe they really speaking in tongues either, making noise. Ghost. For whatever reason, when you type and I read it, I hear your fucking voice, man. It's like I hear it and I giggle over it anyway, right? I am sent to say I haven't personally heard that same speaking in tongue, but it's possible that it may sound similar. Okay. Deb said, I was taught that you were actually speaking a foreign language when speaking in tongues. It is considered a foreign language right now. I can't remember. It's been a while. Yes, I've watched The Gods of Egypt. It's been a while since I've studied the Bible, right? But the Tower of Babel, however, don't kill me for mispronouncing that, right? Was the tower that they were building. The people of Israel, they were building this tower. The Egyptian people were building this tower because they believed that if they built it tall enough, this is a story in the Bible, that they could speak to God. And they're building this tower all the way up to the clouds. and God struck the tower down and struck the people, and it caused different languages, and that's how we encroached on different languages according to the Bible, right? It kind of confused people so that they can no longer work together to continue to build this tower. Now, I don't know if tongues came from there or whatever the case may be, but tongues is supposed to be a different language, a language where you're communicating with God. I don't know. So I guess my question is, are you not communicating with God unless you're speaking in tongues? I don't know. Johnny says some people fake tongues. Tongues is a spiritual language that shouldn't be spoken unless it is able to be interpreted. Okay, thank you, Johnny. So there is a tongues language and an interpretation to it. So, like, we should be able to interpret the tongue. So if I put on like my Google Translator and somebody starts speaking in tongues, my Google Translator should be able to translate what that person is saying. Pat said Creflo Dollar said he spoke in tongue in a region in Africa and they understood what he was saying. Who knew? Oh. Mm. Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm boozy this morning. Explain it to me, right? I am just saying it's just like we're talking amongst others on the earth. Exactly, Deb. You have to leave that up to them and God. Good morning, Ghost.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let me get the right screen so that we are here together. All right. It's just like we're talking amongst each other. Johnny says some religions make speaking in tongues a bigger thing than what it is, and they make people feel less than because they don't speak in tongues. That part. Like some churches, if you speaking in tongues, they look at you like, oh my gosh, like and then there's people who strive to speak in tongues. And that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point is it authentic? Now, it goes, you keep talking about gods in Egypt. Remind me, because gods in Egypt was when the black girl vagina used to eat the guys. Which one is that?
Gods of Egypt was really like a movie about like
The different gods.
yeah.
Right, but there was a
But the
black
problem
woman god.
but the movie pretty much is like this journey of these two poor kids in the city or whatever, and one believed in the gods and her boyfriend didn't, and then one of the gods took over and started I guess he kind of believed then. He started to believe, like, even though he's seen the god, like everybody's seen the gods and whatnot, but he still didn't believe in them, didn't think that that they really saved people and stuff like that and whatnot. And they ended up going on a journey. I want to say they took horses' eyes. They took horses' eyes, and he broke into the temple to get the eye back. The girl died, and him and the horse and the god of love went on this journey to defeat him and whatnot. Oh man, I'm trying to think of these people's name. I can't remember the character's name or no shit. But no, it ain't got nothing to do with nobody coochie eating nobody. Like it
Listen.
ain't that sounds like
Oh,
it's on the
oh,
verge
oh,
of
you
being a
know which
goofy
one I'm
movie.
talking about? You know which one I'm talking about? It's called American Gods.
Oh no.
Did you watch
Well, ain't
that?
that a TV show?
It's a series. It was
Yeah,
like it was like a series, but they had different gods that represented. And okay, so I gotta watch Gods in Egypt because I was mixing them up. All right, so
gods
I gotta watch.
of Egypt.
Yes, I gotta watch that. God of Egypt. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that then because I thought I watched that, but I mixed it up with American Gods.
No, you still need to watch it. It's a good
Wait,
ass movie. It's a
Theo
good
said
ass movie.
watch it. um, Debbie said, at the center, I do what I can to be obedient these days, and I treat people with love. I let people have their own relationship with Jesus. God, you got to. I just have questions because, I'm just trying to understand. I guess the question came up because I love horror movies and I watch these horror movies. And every time I watch them, right, in every movie, when somebody tries to explain that something evil is happening, nobody fucking believes them. And I'm like, yo, like, why we don't believe it? But if I go to somebody and be like, God spoke to me and I spoke in tongues, y'all be like, for real? You know,
Oh,
so
I'm
why
gonna
do
look
we,
at you and say I still don't believe you.
oh,
As soon as somebody, oh man, the Holy Spirit hit me, and I start talking in tongues. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. I just keep on going about my business.
Brandy says speaking in tongues is when people who understand. It happened on the day of Pentecost. Somehow this got changed into something else, and now people think that gibberish is speaking in tongues. Listen, let me Google something real quick because y'all MF is speaking in tongues. Let me see if they give me a sentence. Okay,
That's
speaking
close I
in
picked
tongues
up
is
from you.
also known as glossolalia. Is an actively or practice in which people utter words of speech like sounds.
Speech like sound, so they just sounds, they ain't words.
It says speaking in tongues, also referred to as a gift of tongues in glossolalia. It's a phenomenon that occurs when a person experiencing religious ecstasy or trance utters incomprehensible sounds that they believe are a language spoken through them by a god or a deity. That's what it is in the Bible. Now, if I play this, let me see.
It's time to stop overanalyzing. It's time to stop obsessing over how it might be working. Step out.
I want to hear them speak in tongues.
You've been blessed. Christian pray. He strengthens the entire
Oh,
church.
they're not going to show me. I want to hear what it sounds like because I'm telling y'all that it all sound the same to me. Are there two types of speaking in tongues? They distinguish between private speech in tongues when receiving the gift of the Spirit and a public speech in tongues for the benefit of the church. So what's the difference? The benefit of the church versus what? Private tongues. Good morning, mother. Theo said religion and relationships are two different things. Some people are super religious, but not nice people. That's true. Some of the meanest people, some of the meanest people are in church. Sorry if I offend anyone. That you didn't offend me. 'Cause that's true. Some of the meanest people are in church. You're right.
Like some of the biggest hypocrites are in church.
I mean, church is not for the perfect, right? You know, a lot of people think that you got to go to church. When you go to church, you got to be perfect.
Nah.
But right, so you don't, right? So hypocrites are going to be there. People are going to be there, right? But what I
Be
think,
the biggest ones. It be
yeah,
the ones that preach all this shit left and right to you, but don't follow none of the shit that they be talking.
my husband, we were 7 Day Adventists. Y'all know he was a cheater. I was like, the fuck? You be singing in the choir and shit. Brandy says speaking in tongues is when people who speak different languages understand each other without an interpreter. That's true,
Yeah.
hillbilly. I don't judge anyone for what they believe or their relationship with any higher power. I am more spiritual than religious. Me too. I am definitely not religious. Like, you can't even come to me with no religion right now. No, I don't fucking want to hear it. No, leave me alone. Let me have my own relationship, whatever the fuck that looks like. No, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen to any religion. I'm not. I'm hard headed. Deb said, thank you, Theo. Religion and relationship is very different. It is. A lot of motherfuckers that are religious, to me, I be like, you sure you got a relationship with God? Because what the fuck? Deb says so
But
many people that are in church are the meanest and rudest walking the planet. That's why I don't subscribe to religion. I subscribe to relationship. It seems like that's the pattern here. Well, that part, Sai, now that I believe. Sai said, I think because we don't want to deal with the scary shit, so we choose not to believe it. Now that, because
yep.
I'm asking why we don't believe it.
I mean, you got to. If you believe in all the good shit, you got to believe in the bad shit. There's the opposite of everything. You know what I'm saying? There's up, there's down, left, right, bad, good, hot, cold. I mean, oh, hey, you got to.
I did, Theo. Now I'm really confused. You're right. Johnny said the Bible talks about the utterance of tongues and the speaking of tongues. They are two different things. That's what the definition said too. Wait, side, that part. Okay, side, that part. Okay, who want to dispute this? Wait, I don't think I ever heard any other race speak in tongues except black folk.
Hmm.
Any other races on here want to speak, want to chime in? Y'all heard people in your church speak in tongues in the white churches? I want to know because I never been to a white church, all white church. Do they speak tongues? Because
I've
that's
been to I've been to white churches before, and I ain't never heard nobody speak tongues in a white church, like ever. But I will say I like white churches better than black churches. And how long? The only reason why I say that because black churches last like 6-7 hours. White people church lasts for 45 minutes. Uh, I ain't
everything
I got
black
time to be
folk
sitting
do.
in church all fucking day long with you.
Everything black folk do take a long damn time. I
What?
swear. I
Like
swear.
nigga.
I know we like to drag shit out. Like I know people were sick of me in my wedding because my freaking ceremony was like 2 hours long. They were like, "What if another motherfucker sing? I'm gonna stab somebody here." My wedding was disgustingly long for no reason.
I
It's
was just
ridiculous.
saying, so
I am Jacinta said, but it's not for you to believe or understand. It's the relationship between them and God. And you're right, I am Jacinta. But like everything else, right? We talk about everything else we talk about on the show, right? We try to understand and we try to unpack, right? And really and truly, that statement it is a statement for a lot of things, right? It's really not for us to understand a lot of things in life, right? But in order for us to grow, have grace for other people, be more understanding of other people, it is our responsibility to at least open our mind and try to understand these things, right? Because I don't understand this, so I want to be sensitive when I hear it and I look at them and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? And so that's why we talk about these things, open up our mind, educate each other, right? It's definitely not for us to determine whether they're being real or not. I just want to know what it is.
man, don't get it fucked up, side. Like you know what I'm saying, I like black church too, but man, hey, ain't nobody finna give you my whole fucking day. Like, I'm not gonna give you my whole day. Like, I just can't fucking do it. I can't sit in there all day long. And you want me to sit in church, and I'm supposed to not be having these cuss words come across my mind, not be thinking about the shit me being a man, be thinking about. I feel some type of way sitting in God's house thinking about that type of shit. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. Like, I heard the word. Why are you still preaching on the same shit for 3 hours? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take that
And
long.
passing the collection plate around 3 or 4 times.
You
Like,
feel
what the
me?
fuck is
Like
going
you
on?
pass, man. Look here, you pass this motherfucking clutch spray around one more time. Something gonna come up missing out that bitch. Don't pass
Right.
that shit by me like that.
Oh my God. Google said I do not speak in tongues. Ask me something else. No, Theo, no, you didn't. No, you didn't ask that shit.
I think that came from the AC unit.
Pat said anyone born with a veil over their face, like me. My mother said I would describe people and state what they said. I was very young. This scared my mom, so I asked them to stay away. That used to be a thing.
Why
Babies
COVID?
born with the veil over their face. Okay, so
Black churches ain't running long like that no more, Johnny. I say it's because of COVID. That's the only thing that slowed them down.
Okay, Cheryl Lee said yes. You have your Ken
Right,
Copeland,
Brandy?
Ken Hagen, and most born churches in the Bible Beltway speak in tongues. Mm.
Should I take that chip thing out or no?
Listen, I don't know. Wait, but Hillbilly, you said you only know white people that hang snakes off their face. Now, what the fuck religion is that?
Brandon, I'm telling you that's the key thing to let me know we got like another 2-3 hours to go. When they say I'm not gonna hold you, no, they hold you forever after that. Like, geez, Lord have mercy.
Sorry, I'm waiting for Hillbilly too. Hillbilly, come back with that snake comment. What the fuck is that?
Let's see.
Juanita, thank you. The 7-Day Adventist Church be long. Look at Juanita. She be like, church be long. They start at 9 o'clock in the morning. First is Sabbath school, right? Then they go into the morning announcements. And then they go into praise and worship. And then they go into, the readings and the announcements. And then the pastor come on and say what the fuck. And then the choir sing in between and the pastor come back. You be in there until 3 o'clock.
Like, man.
Wait, Johnny said, I have also had some of the craziest things run through my mind at church. I ask God to forgive me and keep it moving. The problem with some church people is judgment.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just having the thoughts in my head, so don't nobody know what it is that I'm thinking, but I know what I'm thinking. It's like, how many times in one sitting am I gonna ask God for to give me thinking about fucking this bitch, that bitch? You know what I'm saying? Thinking about getting mad and want to go punch this motherfucker in the face, cussing out the pastor because he said I ain't gonna hold you, and that was an hour and a half ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got time to keep on asking for forgiveness in one sitting. Look, say what you gotta say so we can go. Like, it's Sunday. Do you know we supposed to be at the house with some old school shit on cleaning up? Like, what the fuck is you doing? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly, Si. Sunday school was first and then attend service. Well, we did that too in Sabbath school.
Hell yeah. Sunday school is always first, so you had to get up super early and get to church.
Mm-hmm. Juanita, you said a lot of times I used to leave and come back. Well, you lived right there in Brooklyn. I couldn't
If
do
I
that.
leave, I ain't coming back till next week.
Wait, and then we used to go back, Ghost, at like 5 o'clock in the evening for youth service.
Man, look, I got god brothers, and they mama was heavy into church. I ain't gonna say was, still is. She used to make us go to church every Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm like, dude, look, I don't live with y'all. All right, just stop telling my mama to send me with you. I don't live with y'all. Like, Rich, I don't want to go to church that much, man. I ain't like that shit. I ain't
That
like that
part,
shit.
that part. That was always the best part, lunch after church. Because you
Man,
be so
what?
fucking hungry. You've been in there since 9 o'clock in the morning. You get
I
out at 2.
promise.
You starving. You ready
Better
to put
feed
your
me.
mouth on a raw cow's ass at that point. The fuck?
Man.
Wait, Deb said, Ghost, there is something wrong with you. Well, we know that. We know that. He talking about, I don't live with you.
I'm telling you that, man. I'm
With
just
you.
saying.
I know that's some people that go to church every day.
Man, I hated that shit.
Mm.
Like, why are we going? Like, why are you bringing me on the Thursday to go to the deacon board meeting with you? I'm not on the deacon board, nigga. Why am I here?
Exactly. They think taking kids to church will keep them out of trouble.
You bring me somewhere I don't want to be and telling me go do whatever. So I'm finna go fuck something up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid, and like I said, you got me somewhere I don't want to be. I remember one time, I made my godmother mad though, cause I probably lived like 10 minutes on my bike. You know what I'm saying, from the church. I took my ass home one day. I dipped. Man, I just dipped.
Mm. Hey,
What's up,
boo.
Angel?
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning.
I've
Welcome
been,
to
I've been,
Questions and Opinions Day. We
I
stuck on
love
the
it.
but we could open it up for other questions and opinions, but we kind of hung here on the tongues.
Right.
Theo said, when I was younger, my grandmother sent me to the temple with Jehovah Witness that knocked on the door. I am grateful to be here. Who knows what could have happened to me being sent off with, them Jehovah Witness. Do they knock on doors still?
I think they do.
Yep.
I haven't.
During COVID, I think they stopped, right?
Hillbilly, we
I
see
was
your
actually they back out there.
Wait, did Hillbilly answer the snake shit? I don't see the snake shit answer, Hillbilly. Now I see your comments, but I don't see that answer to that snake shit. You said you've only seen whites hang rattlesnakes off the face. That was at 9:06, and now I see you typing. Can we see your comments? We need the answer to the snake shit. What y'all said, I haven't been to a church that fed the congregation after in years. They didn't feed us. I went back to my mother-in-law's house.
Nah, they used to feed us at the
I've
church.
seen that. Yeah,
They used to feed us
dinner
at the
after
church.
We went back.
It was
Nah,
like,
not donuts. No, I'm talking about like they cooked meals in that motherfucker. They
yeah.
cooked.
And you could wait. Ghost, you remember smelling the food while you sitting
Ready to get out of church? Yeah, like, man, fuck this word. Let's go get this food before it get cold. Like, let's
You'd be
go.
like, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go.
We left and went house hopping.
Oh gosh.
So it's questioning opinions. My church fed us, not every Sunday, but they did. Okay. Our church did it occasionally, but most times I went back to my mother-in-law's house because let me tell you, my dad-in-law, I'm still close with them. He cooked his fucking ass off. Okay. And so we went back there and they were vegetarians, half of them. So we would have this meat called fry pats and shit. Juanita, it'd be meat substitute because I had given up meat for years. Being a 7-day Adventist, you don't eat shellfish, meat, la 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 la. And so it was still good though.
So I've been listening, but I got really triggered last week.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Really triggered last week. So you ever heard of the term failing upward? Or where somebody just is a fuck up and they still get promoted, they move up in the company.
Yeah.
I think Mike was having the same kind of issue. Well, this young lady that I work with is the executive vice president of HR, is her daughter, right? This chick gets promoted, and there's all this fanfare about her, and she doesn't do anything well. Like the bitch could fuck up a wet dream. Like she just messes up everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just got another promotion, and mind you, I'm the director of accounting, okay? And she's a manager now. She sends me an email talking to me like the tone of the email is like I fucking work for her. You know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, who the fuck are you talking to? And that was like the angel outside of work was like, who the bitch? Put some respect on my name, right? Mm-hmm. I showed it to somebody else and I was like, read this and tell me if I'm tripping. She was like, no, bitch, like, what the fuck? Like, what? What? I don't even remember, Robin.
Okay.
I can't even, what the fuck was it? I can't even remember what it was. But it was it wasn't even the ask, it was the tone of it. And I sent her
right side. That's what I want to know. Read it to us. Because sometimes we get an email and the funny thing with emails and text is that we read it sometimes based on our frame of mind. And we inject our own feelings and energy into it. And sometimes we take it where it's not to be taken. So read it to us.
Okay, I'll read it to you. I have
read
it right
in a neutral tone, not in a tone you think she said.
Not the way that I heard it, but I'm just going to read it.
Just read it regular.
Okay. Hello, Angel. I'm in the process of reviewing the employee lease process, and I have found some employees listed in Yardi without the identifier of employee after their last name. As you are the contact person who sets up the employees in Yardi, could you please add this information to their name? I have attached the current employee lease tracker for your reference. I do not know which unit each employee is assigned to, so I cannot make the adjustments myself. Please make sure to add the identifier of employee moving forward. This will make it easier for us to pull the reporting on any employee that is living on site at one of our locations. Attached below is an example of their names should display. She meant attached below is an example of how their name
How
should
they
be
name should be
displayed.
displayed. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
And then she put a screenshot of how it should be. And she
Yeah.
said, please let me know once this update has been completed so I can update our executive vice president and pull the report requested.
Okay.
Now, is
And,
Why
that
did
and
how
I
it's
yeah,
supposed to be?
catch you?
Is it supposed to be put in like that with the employee next to it?
let me pause for a second. She says that as you are the contact person who sets up the employees in our software, I'm not the person that does that. That's number one. I don't fucking do that. Um, and then she puts a screenshot showing me how it should be. And she also says that she doesn't know which unit the employees have been assigned to. So how did you get the screenshot? You looked up the employee and saw it and you took a screenshot of it, but then you're saying you don't know how to do it. And then she attaches an Excel spreadsheet with like 200 fucking people on it and wants me to look them all up and put the employee identifier on there. But some of them have the employee identifier on there already. She didn't indicate which ones already have it. She just like copied, like you took the time to list all the employees and what property they live at, but you didn't look up their unit numbers. You didn't list which ones had the employee identifier. Like, nah, bruh, I'm not fucking doing that for you. You don't.
My response would have been more so, bitch, don't tell me how to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, that is not my job.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to go do is find out whose job that is and talk to them. But you could have
Right.
requested
Well,
or asked
not
me if I could do
delivering it
something,
like
but don't
that.
tell me
So
to do a motherfucking thing.
So am I the asshole or no? Was it an order or was it like help me do this? You know what
I
I mean?
will
Because if she
say,
would have came to me and said like Angel, I need help, my response and my approach would have been completely different. But you don't fucking bark orders at me and tell me let me know when it's complete and going forward, blah blah. Bitch, bye.
I want to give my opinion, but I want to hear Theo's opinion first because Theo is an HR exec. And so
That's
I
what
want to
made me.
know, yeah, Theodora is an HR exec, and this is what she does for a living besides a life coach. So Theo, can you hop on for a minute on YouTube? Because we really need this broken down because for me, Angel, until Theo gets on, because I really need Theo, I need you to pop on, right? Um, for me, Angel, I work in a very aggressive industry, right? And so, this is where I say it depends on the person reading the email and all of that. Because I get emails like that on a regular basis and I send emails out like that on a regular basis. Sometimes it's above that person. She might have been instructed to reach out to you with those instructions, right? Somebody might have told her that it was your responsibility. I fall into this problem all the time.
Right,
My boss would be like,
right.
send an email to this person and tell them this and tell them that and add me to it and make sure, right?
Mhm.
And then I send the email and the person is like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, listen, no hard feelings. I was directed to you. This is what they told me
Mhm.
to do. And we work it out. And so to me, reading that email to me didn't sound as bad. But I think because of the background information you gave, saying that she's a fail up, she gets promoted all the time. When you read the email, to me, you might be reading it a little like, who the fuck are you? Like, you don't even do shit and you
Yeah,
keep getting fucking promoted.
like,
there
but
was
she
a little
did
bit.
say, well,
Your
please and
boss
thank you,
is-
but
You're
she did say
injecting your
please.
own personal feelings in there a little bit.
Uh
Because
huh.
to me, a simple response to that email would be, this is not my responsibility. Please work with so and so. This is how you identify the unit if you don't know how, and blah, 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 blah. And end the story.
So my response, my reply email, I waited a couple hours because I was so I got the email at 12:45. I didn't respond till 4:30 because I knew I was mad and I knew I was going to insert tone if I fired off a response, right? So I waited till I calmed down, talked to a couple people, got in a good place,
Yeah.
and I simply replied, "Hi, blank. Do you have time to discuss this?"
Mm-hmm.
because I want to talk to you.
That's a good one.
I want to talk to you. I want to know if I want to know if I'm making this shit up in my head or if you really are taking this tone with me. She replied back immediately, like
Okay, what
within
you say? Now
minutes.
this might be the bitch kick your ass shit. Now go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So we get on the phone, and long story short, I explained to her, I don't. This is not what I do. I said once the community managers input the information, or HR sends it to me, then I go ahead and push it through the final step, but I don't enter it in. So whoever's entering in the employee's information in the beginning, they should be the one to type in employee to indicate that it's an employee, right? And I said, well, the spreadsheet that you attached, like, did you look them up to see who had the employee identifier and who didn't? Like, did you indicate that anywhere on the spreadsheet? She was like, well, no, but some of them have it and some of them don't. So you didn't even take the time to indicate, you want me to look up everyone one by one when you've already done it? Like, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. She says, I said, well, she says, well, some of the employees have multiple units in their unit, or multiple units listed under their name. And I said, okay. I said, well, since you've already looked them up, I think it would be best, like the best approach would be for you to go in and indicate which ones have the employee name and which ones don't. And then I'll go from there, because like, basically I was saying I have too much to do. I don't have time to do this shit, right? She goes, well, why can't you do it?
Bitch, that's not my job.
She said, why can't you do it? And I said, you've already put together the spreadsheet and I don't enter the employees in, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. And she was like, okay. And the crazy part, I mean, it's not really crazy, but I recorded the conversation. I didn't have my headset on. I had it through the speaker, and I hit and I recorded it on a voice memo on my phone. I was like, in the event that she goes to her mother or goes to whoever in HR and tries to file a complaint or anything, I have documentation of how the conversation went. I didn't have.
As much as you have that recording, you can't use it. That's actually illegal. Because in order to record someone's voice, you have to let them know first. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you notice whenever
it's illegal if you want to use it in court? You can't use it in court. I could use it for my personal
job, or use it either. They may hear it and then be like, oh, well, you can't do that, and then try to go around.
First of all, can I correct something there? I want to correct something there. If you are using Microsoft Teams or anything through your job work, okay, you can hit the record button at any time.
At any time.
Understood that you are working and you are being recorded at all times, right? So it is already understood. So when I have my meetings as a project manager, I hit record and I don't tell anybody shit because I capture that for my notes, attendance, et cetera, et cetera. You are allowed to record at work. Now, what you're not allowed to do is take your personal phone and record a personal conversation. But if you are working and you are having a meeting and you had that discussion with her through your computer at work, and you hit the fucking record, you are in all rights.
Well, see, my mind was thinking more so like company and consumer type shit.
Right. Yeah. This is company. This is company on Microsoft Teams. Yeah. I'm logged into my company's VPN, like we using our own software. Yeah, it's fair game.
Yep, it's fair game. That is on there. That's a part of the connected workplace. That is part of our everyday functioning jobs.
Yeah,
you can certainly. Oh, let me put the link up there. You can certainly record during work as long as you're on work shit.
Yeah. And then look, so then this morning, she sent me another email on Friday. I just didn't read it because I didn't work on Friday. She says, she sends me another screenshot with some more shit, more orders. It's a little bit softer, this email. Like the tone is not as harsh as the first one, but it's still like some step and fetch it shit. Like, do this.
So did you take a moment and have a discussion with your boss?
I did.
And what did he or she say?
My boss said, she echoed what I said. My boss was like, well, I think that she's trying to prove herself. And she's trying to prove, that she belongs here. And so she's going to be like aggressive in emails and
right. But what did your boss tell you to do?
She said,
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. My boss told me to have the conversation with her. That was my boss's advice.
Okay. Because to me, my email, I would no longer have any email exchanges with her without my boss being copied, period.
Oh.
PC your boss.
Oh,
See
good
your
point.
boss.
Good
You've had
point.
the conversation with your boss. You brought your boss in
Yeah.
control. Any conversations going forward, you should either
Copy.
record them if you're on the phone or add your boss to the email. But I'm gonna let HR exec Theodore Carter chime the fuck in here.
Hey, Theo.
Hey Theo,
Hey,
Morning.
Crystal. Can she hear
she
us?
can't hear us. We can see you.
You're echoing. You're Hey, good morning,
Good
everyone. So
morning.
first, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah. First, it's not illegal to record. It depends.
You
It
gotta
depends
mute the other link.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta
have.
mute
Yeah.
YouTube. You gotta mute YouTube.
All right. So it's not illegal to record. It depends on the state. So in New York and New Jersey, to record, only one person, which could be you, has to know that you're being recorded. So really, it depends on which state you're in, on whether or not you record. That's outside of the Zoom and all of that stuff.
Right. As long as you're right.
If you decided to record someone on your phone, it's not illegal because only one party needs to know, and that one party could be you. So that piece. Angel, that email, honestly, I would not have responded. That's just me, the HR person. Because I would have got up, oh, you're virtual. I would have sent her a chat to say, hey, you got a minute for us to talk? And then I would have had the conversation with her and one, politely explain her role versus your role. Right? Documentation is definitely great that you got documented the whole conversation. But it sounds like someone needs to explain to her what her job role is versus what your job role is. And also, someone needs to have a conversation with her about email
Etiquette.
as far
Yes.
as tone and etc. And literally, if she is not open to what you're saying, at some point you might need to sit down with her, your boss, her boss, so you guys can all be on the same page as to how this working relationship is going to be. Because right about now, you need to establish with her what the working dynamic will be. Point blank, period. She knew, girl, she might be trying to prove herself, but somebody need to pull her aside and say, hey, this ain't how you prove yourself. Because that tone in that email was truly, like, I personally would not have probably responded. So I would have just been like, we need to talk this out.
It was like nasty, right? It was like she was trying to be, she was hiding her nastiness and like trying to use like, please and all this stuff and please let me know when it's done and all this other shit. Like don't do
She was
that.
being passive aggressive.
Yes.
In an email. That was a
yes, it was
email.
And I really feel like she dropped the name. I don't want to say the lady's name because but I really feel like she dropped this one name thinking because if you say this person's name, I'm gonna jump up and do it.
Oh yeah,
like,
people love to do that.
No, I'm not. I'm still not doing it.
Like, I mean, I would. First of all, I hope you didn't do the work. I mean, I hate to say that, but I would not have done it.
I signed out. Look, I ain't worked since I sent that email, and I talked to her on the phone, and I was done. That was Thursday, and today's my first day back at work.
Yeah,
I've been going for 5 days.
I mean, I feel like you handled it well, honestly. To the best of your ability, it's not gonna go away. She's gonna keep doing it.
No, it's not. Because Friday she sent me another email with the first.
She's in nepotism land. Right?
Yeah.
So in her mind, she could do whatever she wants. Yeah. Right. So you need to figure out who the person is in the organization that you can talk to that help her understand that her nepotism doesn't give her certain rights.
Yeah. And that's what somebody else told me. They were like, you should just send her boss a message and ask to speak to her and ask for her boss to explain to me, like, what, I don't even know what the fuck her role is. Like, what do you do? Like, I'm not even 100% sure. But I'm glad that I didn't send the email to her boss last week because I was really feeling some kind of way and I was going to fire it off and just be like, do I report to her?
No. Yeah.
Because the tone of her email is like she's my boss. So I'm confused.
Like, yeah, but I'm glad
you do need.
I'm glad I didn't do that
conversation with somebody other than her to really. Because at this point, you need to set the parameters of the working relationship.
Right.
Like
Right.
you
Oh, I
need,
like that. Let me write that
yeah, you
down.
need to let her know how this is gonna work, right? How we gonna work as
Yeah.
professionals. Like I don't need you to like me. Like you don't have to say all that, but normally this is what I tell employees if I have to sit them down and say, I don't need y'all to like each other. I just
Exactly.
need y'all to do
Ain't
the
that
job
shit.
we tell you to do in a professional manner,
What you doing?
right? But you do need to set the parameters
Hey,
with
baby.
her on what the working relationship would be.
Yes, I really like that. And I think that even if I just word it that way, that's not passive aggressive. It's more like solution
Yeah,
based. It's solution oriented. Like, I want to have a conversation to set the parameters of the professional relationship between this person and my person. How do our two departments work
mhm,
together? And what's the expectation?
exactly.
Like,
It has to be all laid out. Expectation of her,
mhm,
expectation of you,
right.
what the dynamics are. And
And my department, like she sends an email with a 2000 rows, and it's like look up each of these 2000 things and tell me like if they've already been submitted for write off and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, you know what?
you got to set the professional boundaries. Like honestly, like it really just comes down to that. And at the end of the day,
Right.
any interaction you have with her, you need to document, right?
Uh-huh.
Time, location, if anyone else is privy to it, around, whatever.
Right.
Just build your arsenal because there is nepotism involved.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
When they try to fall back on you, you need to have all the documentation to demonstrate that I'm doing my job. So if it goes anywhere else, right, then you have a constructive discharge claim.
So this person, I have felt tension with this person for a very long time. She's been with the company for 3 years. I've been there for 7. And I have felt tension between us for quite some time, and I'm not even sure why. Like I don't have nothing to get.
You have a
I
job,
don't.
probably. She probably wants your job.
I guess that's what it is. I don't fucking know. Like
She
I
probably
don't.
want to
I
be
don't.
where you at.
Is she
Yeah, I
ugly?
guess. But I'm just like I don't. I don't have nothing against you.
Is she ugly?
I mean, okay, okay. So she is. She is a very she's pretty. She's a very pretty girl. Like she's in meetings, she's always sitting up just like this, and she's always looking at herself in the camera, and she's
Oh, she's a conceited person.
yeah, yeah. And me, like I'm just laid back. I'm just me, like you know what
She
I'm
comes
saying? Like
off
it is what
stuck
it is.
up,
Yeah, she's real. She's real. You know.
uppity.
Well,
And
she
so
thinks that she is entitled to certain things because
Yeah.
she has someone in the company. Like it's nepotism.
yeah, it's
So
her
there's a
mother.
level of entitlement there because she thinks her mom is there, but you need to set the parameters, or somebody needs to set the parameters to say, hey, just because your mommy work here, and it doesn't have to be said like that, right? But there has to
Woo-hoo.
be a parameter set that helps her understand what her role is and what your role is. And beyond that,
Honey,
you
I'm
need
dead.
to document
Johnny
everything.
retarded.
Johnny said,
Baby speaking in tongues.
right.
But that's
A rough one, because it's hard
where
when
you're
when the
at.
mama is in HR. Like, how do you deal
Yeah,
with something like that?
You go out.
it's uncomfortable.
That's why every company has a anonymous compliant complaint line that
Yep,
goes to
Yeah,
someone
and we
other
do.
than HR.
yep.
We do have that anonymous thing, but it's like if I put it in there, like I don't know, they gonna know it's me. Like I would rather not even do it ananomously
That's what I'm
because,
saying. So
like,
that's the thing, right? Most people use
right,
the anonymous hotline,
Oh
don't
no, what you
right?
should do, you know what I'm saying? If cause you gotta make it look like she really is a problem, or the way that she is really a problem. So do it in person and do it anonymously. That way you get it's like you got somebody backing you.
oh yeah, yeah. So my best friend or sister, she works for the same company. We're in completely different departments, right? Now my sister and her and this young lady are cool. They're real cool with each other, right? And she's like, she's like, I ain't never had an issue with her. Like, I don't, whatever. I'm like, I never had an issue with her either, but she just comes at me crazy all the time. So I showed my sister this email. I said, read it. Just tell me if I'm wrong, because I know I'm gonna get the truth from you. Tell me if I'm wrong. She said, bitch, why is she coming at you? Why is she coming at your head like that? I'm like, I don't know. So her friend even read the email and was like, damn, I ain't never seen her like that before.
Mm.
So I know I'm not making it up. I know it's not me. I know I'm not inserting tone. Like if her own, her buddy is saying like that's
Well, her
bogus.
buddy should have checked her too. But hey.
I would say you
Well, no,
believe
no,
her
no.
buddy didn't already reached out to
She's not gonna get involved. I don't
Oh,
want my
okay.
sister to get involved. Like, I'm just showing you this just to show you. Don't bring it to her because they're not friends. I shouldn't use that
Mhm.
word. They're
acquaintances.
like friendly at work.
Mhm.
They're
They're friendly at work.
acquaintances.
Right. Like she would never call her up on the cell phone like, "Hey, girl, what you doing?"
Oh, okay.
Whereas she would come over to my house and like we do stuff all the time together. Like this is like an acquaintance that she's very cordial with.
Well, DM me so I could tell you what to do without me saying it on YouTube and YouTube.
Gotcha.
But nah, but really and truly, I don't think you were wrong. I mean, I really feel like the email, the tone was there. All she didn't do is in all caps.
Right.
Because honestly, the tone was kind of like, I'm in charge. I need you to do X, Y, Z,
Yep.
and you need to do it this way.
Right.
But the why don't you do it part? Yeah.
She said, well, can't you do it? So she said, why don't you do it? She said, well, can't you do it?
That
No.
Yeah.
No, actually. No, I can't.
Nah, but no, I mean, I applaud you for taking a breath before responding to that email.
Yeah, look, I didn't get where I'm at by being, hasty or being stupid or hot tempered. I mean, I am hot tempered. I am. But at least I know it about myself and I'm like, you know what? Professionally, this ain't it. Don't go there. Don't do it.
Well, how long
Take
has
it.
she been in the position? Like a minute?
Yeah, a hot minute. Like it's been maybe 3 weeks. She's been in this position for 3 weeks, and I'm just like, chill, girl.
Yeah, it's a in-person conversation. It's no longer an email conversation because if you
Right.
continue doing it in email, it's gonna go left.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna go in a direction that you don't want it to go in. So I would arrange to have a conversation with her, but just hit me up so I could tell you how that conversation should go.
I got you. I got you. Thank you so much, Theo. I really appreciate
see,
it. And
we
everybody's
need
input
on
too.
this show. We got therapists, we got HR, right?
We got everybody.
Yeah.
Listen, I may not always be the right HR person though, because I don't play the game. So
But that is the right HR person. Don't be bullshitting us.
yeah,
Right.
I am
Real,
yeah,
without us getting in trouble. Tell us the real, like how to handle situations. Because at work people are so afraid to speak up sometimes because you don't want to be the one that's on the chopping block or getting your hand slapped in something. Especially when you're dealing with someone like that who's constantly getting promoted, and you're like, wait a fuck minute, like, what kind of leverage do I have over this person and it's nepotism here. So,
Right.
Man, I've always been like the MLK of my jobs, man. Like if something ain't right, I'm gonna say something, and I ain't quiet about it. Like I'm not quiet about it at all.
yeah.
Now, granted, I'm pretty sure it didn't held me back from some things, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because over time, I bet you that shit got changed.
I mean, but
Yeah.
that's the beauty of working in an organization that really wants to give you a voice, right? So they're gonna allow you to express yourself. They might say, "Hey, do it differently,"
Mhm.
right?
No,
But you
they
should
don't
be.
want you to do that at all. Like they be
Oh,
they
so,
don't they don't be wanting to say nothing at all. And I know that's why it held me back from a lot of stuff. But then again, like I said, I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? As long as you knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else knew that you knew. So it's like now you really ain't got no choice but to do something about it now.
yeah.
And so and
Mhm.
that's fine. If I don't move up or get whatever, that's fine. But you change what we ain't like.
Yeah. And that's my whole like my mantra or whatever you want to call it in leadership. And even before I was in leadership, I have always had the posture of I want the whole block to win. You know what I'm saying? Like I want us all to fucking win. And we can. Like one person doesn't have to lose in order for me to win. Like we can all win. And that's always been like my affect. And the way that I lead is I lead as a servant. So it's what can I do to help you succeed?
Yeah.
And that's the way that I lead. And I think, like, I don't know if she's intimidated by that or she thinks that I'm being fake or phony. But it's like, if you tell me to do something, I'm not gonna up and do it. But if you ask me for help, I need help with this, or Angel, what's the best way to get this done? Like, what do you think? Like, what would be the
And
best
I think
process?
that's also getting to know each other, right? And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate a little
Oh, that's a
because
good point.
of the industry I work in. We're not really that polite, right? And so,
Yeah.
it depends on the industry, right? Now in
Mhm,
IT, we don't cut corners. We send emails and they kind of a little biting. And
mhm.
I don't get offended by them because I know it's an aggressive environment and I know the people that are emailing me. I have worked with them over a period of time. So I know I kind of figured out if they're trying to be offensive or if they're not. And being that,
Right.
so I feel that getting to know someone and how they work is a big part of it also because she might
Mm,
not mean any harm. It might just be the way she delivers stuff. Because every now and again, like in meetings, I find myself, I'm rough at work. And every now and again, my boss will be on a call like Rob, and he be pulling me in. And I'm like, okay, get me now, because you know. And then at the end of the meeting, I find myself a lot saying, guys, listen, it's not personal. I'm very passionate about my work. It's not personal to you. And I always end my calls like that because I know that I come across very aggressive, but that's how I was raised in the field that I'm in. So it really depends on how she works. It might not be
but
offensive at all.
do you have that same affect towards everybody, or is it towards certain?
Maybe. Right, you wouldn't know that, right?
Mhm.
Because you're dealing with her,
Right.
right? So you don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
she sends those kind of like I got people at work that when they fucking send me an email, I be like, I don't even know this bitch, and she better calm the fuck down, right? And after I get to know, after I start, because there was a woman, every time I said something, she'd be like, well, so and so. I'd be like, oh shit, like I'm ready to put my Vaseline on and meet her out the fuck outside.
Right.
But after I got to work with her and we ended up in the same organization reporting to the same boss, I learned to love her. I learned
Hmm.
that her crass response was not just to me, it was to everybody. It was just how she communicated. And it came from a years and years of frustration, years and years of being tossed from one position to the next, years and years of other bosses telling her what to do. So it comes from various places. And I think that getting to know your associates at work that you work with on a regular basis plays into that.
Hmm.
I mean, I agree with all of that, but this girl needs what Pat just put up here. Like, you need to have a
I
one-on-one
love
with her.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think that's what you did, Angel, right?
I tried. I don't, I'll have to listen back to it. It was a 20-minute phone call, so I'll listen back to it and just, after I've taken a breath and taken some 5 days off, let me revisit it again and listen to it and see, like, is there room for us to have another discussion about it? Especially since she sent another email on
Yeah,
Friday
but
with a
my
big
thing
ass.
is it your responsibility or is it? Because see, to me, I wouldn't even focus on it. And I'm not an HR exec, so don't let me guide you. But I wouldn't even focus on it like that. I'd be like, after I had the conversation with my boss, and he was like, or she said, "This not your job." I'd have been like, I'd have found out, like Johnny said, who may I direct her to? Because that's
Mhm.
another thing that I do. If I can
Mm,
help direct you to the right person, I will do
mhm.
that. But I will quickly say, this is not my responsibility. Please reach out to this team. They will be able to help you and
Yeah.
blah. And then respond to no more emails.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I mean, if it's not in my role description, I'm happy to say, listen, I'll actually be like, this is I don't manage this. At so and so manages this. I'm looping them in,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I put
Yeah.
them on the email, right?
That's
And I
it.
move forward.
And
Because
divorce yourself from it. Every time she email you, don't answer. And then when she escalate on you, be like, what are you escalating for? I pointed you in the right direction, gave you
Right.
what you needed. It's not my responsibility. It's nothing else to talk about.
And just let it
Let it
go.
go.
I
and
love
That's
then
it.
how you try
let your
it.
supervisor manage her with her supervisor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not your
Just,
job.
Yeah.
just remove yourself from the discussion, because at the end of the day, work is work, right? And the problem is a lot of people take it personally, but work is work.
Hmm.
Like IT people, I take nothing that IT people do personally,
Thank you, because women,
because I know
Yeah.
they're different. They're different
That's
breeds.
true. They're a
They
different
operate
breed. Yeah.
differently. Their mindset is different. They focus differently, right? But you do need to know your people, but you do also need to set those healthy professional boundaries. because she needs to understand, especially being in this new role. Because if she's talking to you like this, she's probably talking to other people like this, and eventually it's gonna end up where I usually don't want it to end up, which is HR. Because then we got right. And if you don't have the right HR person, it's not gonna get dealt with.
It's so crazy. You know how the cultures at work is different. Like in IT, we never go to HR. It's like, because you know what, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but we have blurred the lines of boundaries in IT for the most part. No, seriously, that the most inappropriate shit happens in our conversations. That sometimes on my conference call, some people say some shit and they be like, "Well, I didn't mean to say that." Other people be on the phone like, "Fuck it, we don't care." And I'm like, if y'all would have said this on the business call or in the marketing team call, they'd have been like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So, again,
but because you guys have your own code. You have your own code of working together. You have your own style of how you communicate with each other, right? So it works in there. The thing is just when you're outside of that environment, right? Being able to work, right? Knowing how other people work. Because that's the other thing. You do have to know other people.
You do.
In order to know how to respond to them. Right?
I heard you were mean when you were first met.
I wasn't mean. I just, as an HR professional, I am courteous. I get to know employees. But I can't be your friend, right? Because at the end of the day, even if I'm not being unbiased, like if I show more to one person than another, it's automatically, oh, that's her favoritism. So I'm just equal, fair across the, like I would tell you, most employees come to me just to talk, whatever, but they also understand that if they're going to be on the other side of the table, I'm going to be operating in my job because they don't pay me. Like, I still need to get paid. So I'm just not overly friendly. But I'm not overly friendly. I'm not overly friendly outside work.
Okay.
So, I mean, I literally am suspect of people that are over friendly.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like
I found you to be friendly.
I mean, I'm sociable, right? And I can interact, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to make you like
I do see that too.
Right?
I do see that.
Go out of my way to make I am who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to make you like me. And work is work. I don't have friends at work. I have some that I have stayed in touch with and they are my friends, but for the most part, I don't have friends at work. Because being an HR girl, you just want information from me most of the time.
Yeah.
A lot,
So, and I just don't believe in person. I just
you're literally a resource.
My personal with my business because it gets blurry and people cannot accept the fact that if they ever have to sit on the other side of the table where they be disciplined, now they're
you my friend. What you talking about?
Nah, I gotta do my job.
Exactly. So it's not that I'm mean. I'm just like. And I think I'm like this I need to observe and I need to absorb your energy before I figure out how I'm going to click with you. Because I click with people by spirit and energy. I'm just not going to like you because somebody introduced me to you. Like I need to really get to know you because I don't like everybody in my space. Like I have a tight circle. Most of my friends I've been friends with for like over 30, 40 years. Anybody new that I let in, like, that's rare.
They got to work to get in there.
Not even work. Like I have to click with you.
But it has to be like genuine. It's not like off the bat. It just don't happen. It has to be like an organic, like.
Yeah. Because I can't, like I don't, I'm better at it, but I got to trust. Like I don't trust anybody.
Yeah. I get that.
But it is what it is. Work is work. Too many people take it personally. We here to do a job.
Right.
If you make, I always tell employees in orientation, if you make friends, that's a bonus. But I just need you to do your job. Work is work.
I say that all the time. I'm like, I got kids.
Because when you make friends at work, at the end of the day, if they do one thing that pisses you off, next thing you know, it's a whole controversy. We in HR. This person doesn't like me. She said this. She said that. We're not high school kids.
Yeah.
Just do your damn job. Go home.
I say that all the time. I have kids already. I'm not trying to be nobody else's mama. I am the coach of this team. right? Like I'm really, really at the end of the day, I'm the person that gets in trouble if shit gets fucked up. Like really at the end of the day, that's all I am. I'm not your boss. I'm not your you don't report to me. Like none of that. I'm the person that gets in trouble if the shit fucking falls
Exactly.
apart. Like
Everything
that's
falls.
what it is.
Well, most
Yeah,
people
that's
come to work to make friends. That's why a lot of people want to go back to work and don't want to work remote because they like that social aspect.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
Be around you like that.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, like people at work know if they ask, they be like, hey, we going out? People that really know me know the first question is gonna be who going?
All the time. I need to know who's gonna be there.
Cause I'm not hanging out. I don't hang out with everybody from work. Right.
Mhm.
So it's just it's like it's life, right? The same way you operate
Yeah.
in life, you operate at work. You have to have healthy boundaries. If
Right.
you don't have healthy boundaries, you're gonna get into some trouble at work.
A couple weeks ago, everybody in leadership all flew out to California for this conference, right? And so the people from the Chicagoland area, they were like, Angel, what flight are you on? Are you on our flight? Switch your flight to ours. They were leaving from a different airport. They were leaving from O'Hare. And she was like, yeah, everybody from the Midwest, we all on the same flight. We all, it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be fun and all this other stuff. I was like, nah, I can't do it.
I'm surprised their company allows them all to fly on the same flight. Most orgs don't. Not being morbid, most organizations don't want all of their people flying on the same flight because if something happened.
Uh-huh. Right.
That's a
That
liability,
too.
right? That's so.
I didn't even think about that. What I thought about is that we all gonna be on the plane together. I drink. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't want to say the wrong thing or be talking about work and somebody hear it. Like I'd rather just fly with people I don't know and just be by myself and not have to worry about no shit. Or some people drink too much and they start getting handsy or touchy feely, and it's a sexual harassment thing. Like I just y'all go from O'Hare. I'm gonna go from Midway.
Work is work. I tell you honestly. And although it drives me crazy, I appreciate you employees because y'all keep me employed. Right, so I got job stability for life because somebody somewhere gonna always need an HR person. There's always some stuff because I swear to God, y'all sit at home thinking of what can I do tomorrow to make the HR person crazy.
You know what? But Pat, I know I'm distracted because I'm working at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I got a 10 o'clock meeting. So that's a good day.
Pat, that's a great point, right? And I always say that remember that she's being directed by somebody. So, like Pat said, she probably doesn't understand her role. Like you said, she keeps getting promoted. She keeps getting switched around. And maybe somebody is giving her this direction. Somebody told her to come to you, right? And so, I think the advice that Theo provided was good. And I think the way you've handled it thus far is good. You didn't lose your shit or anything like that.
Not, at least not on the phone and not over email.
Exactly.
I lost it, but I kept
No, but you didn't lose it.
Out of work.
Yeah. It's okay to lose it offline. That was good. So that was a good thing. You didn't do anything wrong.
Y'all.
And Pat said, don't take it personal for her shortcomings. True.
Mm-hmm.
I know that work can be frustrating because I watch people get promoted above me left and right. And as soon as they give me instructions, I be mad at them.
These whole white women get handsy. I feel like don't play with me.
We touchy feely and shit.
Oh my God.
They do though.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I got one chasing me now at work. Everything.
I know. I gotta go. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Everybody.
Right.
Gracias. Have a good day, y'all. I'm out.
I'm out too because I'm working at the same time, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the convo because it was a good convo. But I appreciate y'all. This is Question and Opinions Day, aka Assholes Day. This day is for anything we wanted to talk about. We can. We started out with our positive thoughts. July is the month of understanding. We talked about stop worrying about where you want to be so much and enjoy where you are. Taking your lessons of where you are today. Enjoy the present moment, right? Without completely losing sight of the now. You can in parallel work on where you want to be, but don't get so indulged to where you want to be that you forget where you are. All right. And we talked about religion, but from the aspect of spirits, believing in good and evil, and Why do people have to convince you of evil spirits, but don't have to be so convincing when you feel a good spirit, right? And then we got into HR matters at work and how to handle people that, seem to be a little bit aggressive in the workplace. How do you direct them or escalate properly without offending each other in the workplace? So it was a good mixed bag today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining. Make sure you give me the thumbs up on your way out as you're getting this message on the way out. I love y'all. Get this message, because no matter how low you feel, you can still
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go, go.
This is Coffee with Friends, and I am Roy Tunico. Peace, y'all. Always move with love first, all right?
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain
Anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient.
it's belief. They'll see
With the negativity, but I just ride
right by
that energy.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
Hey,
Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
what?
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Hey, I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Peace, y'all. I'm out. Hey.
Go, 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 go.